The Sweetest Comeback, an AI story. The morning sun stretched over the California hills, glinting off rows of white tents at the farmer's market. The air smelled like strawberries, roasted coffee, and hope. For Samantha Reyes, that hope came in the shape of a folding table, a borrowed mixer, and a dream that barely fit inside her beat-up hatchback. She'd slept in that car again last night, but she didn't care. Her back ached and there was flour in her hair. But when the first customer smiled and said, "You're the one with the guava pastries, right?" she knew it was worth it. She called her stand Sweet Revival, and that name fit her life too. 6 months ago, she left her hometown with recipes, a rolling pin, and the kind of determination you get from heartbreak. Her ex had told her baking was cute, but unrealistic. So she sold her things, packed her car, and drove west until she saw the ocean. A friend from culinary school let her borrow a commercial kitchen after hours, from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., and that's where she baked every night. By dawn, she loaded her car with muffins, pies, and guava pastries. She'd set up her table before sunrise, tape her hand-painted sign, and smile like she wasn't terrified. One quiet Sunday, she saw him again. At first, she didn't recognize him. Tall, crisp shirt, phone in hand, looking lost among honey stands and soaps. He stopped at her booth. "Sam? Samantha Reyes?" She blinked. "Wait, Alex? Alex Carter?" He laughed, that same nervous laugh from high school, only smoother now. "Wow, you actually remember me?" She smiled. "How could I not? You were the kid who built robots instead of going to prom." He grinned. "And now I run the company that builds them." She raised a brow. "You're that Carter Robotics?" He nodded. "But I'm taking a break. My board said I need to slow down," he added with air quotes. "So here I am, trying to do normal things like farmers markets." She grinned. "Then you came to the right place." Over the next few weekends, Alex became a regular. He'd buy a pastry and stay to talk about work, burnout, and what it meant to start over. He told her about sleepless nights and losing himself in success. She told him about sleeping in her car and fighting to get accepted into markets. One morning, he found her struggling to carry boxes to her car. "Need a hand?" he asked. She tried to wave him off, but he grabbed a few boxes anyway. "Still stubborn," he teased. "And you still talk too much," she shot back. They laughed, and something familiar flickered between them. By the third month, Samantha's pastries had become a quiet hit. But not everyone was happy about it. Alex's ex, Marissa, who still lingered around his company, had noticed how often he went to farmers markets. When Marissa found out who Samantha was, she didn't hesitate to pull strings, calling vendors, whispering to organizers. Soon, Samantha's applications started getting lost. Every market she applied to suddenly had no openings, except one, a small 1-2 hours north in a sleepy coastal town. "Guess I'll be taking my pastries on the road," she said. Alex looked furious. "You're kidding me. Someone's sabotaging you." She shrugged. "Maybe, but I'm not quitting." He admired that, how she didn't let bitterness stick. That weekend, Alex showed up at dawn. "Need company on the drive?" She hesitated, then smiled. "Only if you're okay being paid and conscious." They drove with the windows down, music low, laughter easy. Somewhere along Highway 1, with the ocean glittering beside them, the air changed. "You ever think about what might have happened if we'd stayed in touch?" he asked quietly. She glanced at him. "You mean before you became Silicon Valley's golden boy?" He smiled. "Before you became the strongest person I know." Her cheeks warmed. He looked away, voice softer. "I think I missed my chance with you once. I don't want to again." The new market wasn't big, but it had heart. Locals stopped by, curious about her pink pastries and warm smile. One of them happened to be a food vlogger with 1 million TikTok followers. He took a bite of her guava pastry, eyes going wide. "Where have you been hiding?" By the next weekend, Samantha's stand had a line around the block. Her video went viral. People drove in from 3 counties away to taste the pastry that broke the internet. Alex watched from the sidelines, grinning like a man in love. When Marissa saw the viral video, she tried to reach out, first to Alex, then to Samantha, but Alex ignored her calls. Samantha's success snowballed. Local news picked up the story. Baker who slept in her car becomes overnight sensation. A downtown bakery owner offered to partner with her, and within months, she had her own storefront Sweet Revival bakery right on the coast. She called Alex the day her sign went up. "We did it," she said, voice trembling. He laughed softly. "You did it, Sam. I just carried boxes." The grand opening was packed balloons, music, and enough pastries to feed an army. When Alex walked in with flowers, everyone seemed to fade away. "You came," she said, smiling. "Wouldn't miss it," he replied. "I hear the owner's kind of amazing." "X." She blushed. "You hear right." They stood outside as the sun dipped below the horizon. He took her hand. "So, what's next for Sweet Revival?" She looked up. "Maybe a second location, and maybe someone to share it with." He leaned closer. "You mean, like a partner?" She smiled. "Maybe like a boyfriend." A year later, Sweet Revival had 2 locations and a small apartment above the first one, where Samantha and Alex spent mornings drinking coffee and arguing over whose playlists to play. Sometimes she woke early, just to smell the dough rising and remember how far she'd come. And when Alex came up behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist, he'd whisper, "See? Slow down long enough and you find exactly what you need." She'd turn, kiss him softly, and say, "And sometimes it finds you first." The end.